Hello everyone and welcome back to Purity with Style. My name is Candace Claiborne from C Squared Artistry, and today we're going to be doing a look on Danielle that's really focusing on your skin as well as foundation. So let's get started. Danielle, your skin type is, how would you describe it? Was it dry? Is it more oily? Combination? Or is it really sensitive?
I think it's a combination of dry and oily at times.
Okay.
I think it changes with the seasons, kind of.
Yes, and so that's definitely true. You'll notice your skin will definitely change as the seasons go along. And so it's really important when you're choosing a foundation, you want to really be conscious of your type of skin. If you have a little bit more of an oily skin, then you want to try to use powders or cream to powders. If you have more dry skin, then definitely using a cream or a liquid is going to be great. But today we're actually going to feature a product called a BB cream, which I'm sure many of you have heard about them. They're very popular and for a great reason. The BB cream we're going to use on Danielle today is actually by Iman, and BB creams are great because they do a lot of different functions. Not only is it a base, it's a foundation, but it also helps to brighten your skin. It provides a lot of vitamins and nutrients, and it's very good for just kind of overall skin health and care. So it doesn't just put makeup on your face. It really is caring and treating for your skin. So that's what we're going to use on her today. And as you can see, we already started framing her face. We filled in her brows and really gave her a nice base on her eyes. And before you apply any type of foundation, you want to make sure that you're moisturizing your skin. And so I'm using a moisturizer on her today called Natural Born Cosmetics. And this is an oil-free moisturizer. And the purpose of that is, even though she has oily skin, it's very important that you apply some sort of moisturizer onto your face. And the reason for that is if you do not apply moisturizer, the skin kind of gets confused and it begins to overproduce sebum, which is what produces oil. And so you want to make sure that you apply a moisturizer directly to the skin first. And just like in your life, it's really important that you are moisturizing those areas that tend to be kind of dry, things in your life that have gotten a little bit stale, and being sure to be conscious of those things, because if you don't, it tends to kind of backfire on you. And so that's what we're doing today, is just moisturizing. And typically you can use your hands to moisturize as long as they're clean, but I like to use a brush because that makes sure that everything lays down really nicely onto the skin. The second thing that we're going to apply is a primer, and the primer I'm using is by Laura Mercier, and Laura Mercier actually created the first primer, and so she's a great makeup artist and a great cosmetics line. And we're going to apply primer right here along the cheeks, and the purpose of primer is to help to fill in any lines or wrinkles that might be on the face, and it really just helps to prepare the skin for the foundation that we're going to apply. It also acts as a barrier, so it's really good to keep the skin nice and safe between any makeup that you're going to apply. So primer is definitely a must if you want to have a really nice canvas. This is really what's going to give you kind of that finished professional makeup look. After you apply your primer, you can go ahead and put on your foundation. I know you're probably wondering, well, what about concealer? You want to do foundation first because you want to make sure that you cover the entire canvas, and that way you can see if there are any blemishes or marks that are still visible. So put your foundation on before you put on your concealer. Now foundation is can be kind of tricky in the way that you apply it. So you want to make sure that you have a really nice sponge to apply this foundation. And this is the BB cream. And again, you can use fingers. Fingers are totally fine. But the sponge allows you to have a little bit more of a natural texture. And it also helps to ensure that you get into all the spots, lines, and crevices of the face, because your fingers, unfortunately, aren't able to do that. So use a sponge and make sure that your sponge is clean and that you're using it once if it's a disposable, or you're washing it out if it's a reusable. And especially during the summertime, you want to try to have as least amount of foundation on your face as possible. It gets very hot, you get sweaty. Do you tend to sweat a lot, Danielle?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, and so you can definitely, I'm sure you can relate to that. What was one of the reasons why you chose getting a BB cream this summer as opposed to another type of foundation?
Well, with my regular foundation, I just found that it was, as you said, I was sweating and it was getting on my hands and just getting all over the place. So the BB cream is so great. It's so awesome. It's very light and it's really great for, summertime and hot weather.
Awesome. So yeah, so that really is achieving exactly what you're looking for. Something that's going to give you some coverage, but it's also going to help to really allow your skin to breathe during these warm summer months. And so this is a great option. And you'll notice a lot of change happening in your skin as well when you use a BB cream, because like I mentioned earlier, it really is helping to treat the skin as opposed to just laying it down. But foundation is important because it really is the basis of the rest of your makeup look. And so you really want to make sure that you have a great foundation, not only in your makeup application, but in your life. So her foundation is all done. So now we can go ahead and apply a concealer. I'm using a concealer by Iman, and this one is a really nice concealer because it actually has a nice full coverage. And so we're going to go ahead and use a small concealer brush. And with the concealer, I'm going to apply it right here on the inner corners of her eye, just to brighten up the under eye area. And then we're going to go back over that area with my sponge. I'm going to have Danielle open her eyes and look up to the ceiling. Perfect. When you're applying your concealer at home, ladies, look up to the ceiling, just kind of gently pat underneath that eye area, because that helps to ensure that you get it all the way underneath the eye and you don't miss any spaces. All right. Now concealer can also be, a very unique product in that you want to make sure that you purchase something that has the right consistency. Some concealers tend to be a little bit more creamy and some are a little bit more dry. And so again, knowing your skin type is really important. And only apply it where you need it. You don't have to conceal everything. There are certain things in your life that you want to, allow it to be visible. Your skin is the skin that you live in, and so you want to make sure that you have a nice canvas. Conceal the areas that you want to conceal, but don't go overboard. You always want to look like yourself. And, really being your natural self is what is going to show through anyways, even when you have a bunch of makeup on. So work on those natural characteristics. Work on those areas of confidence, the things in your life that really mean the most to you, because no matter how much makeup you wear or foundation you apply, that's what's going to show. And so they'll love that more than just the makeup. All right. So we're nice and concealed under her eyes, and honestly, she doesn't really have a lot of other areas that are, blemish prone. If you tend to have a breakout here or there, you can apply a concealer on that as well. And so we're just going to kind of dab around that area. And then the last and final step is we're going to set her makeup with a powder. And you want to go ahead and just use a fluffy brush to apply your powder. And this just helps to, make sure that there's no sheen or shine. And to enhance her cheeks today, we're going to be using a bronzer by NYX NYX. And this is a matte bronzer. And I chose this one because we want to try to avoid having a lot of shimmer and shine. There are lots of bronzers out there, but I honestly have found this one to be one of my favorites this summer. And so just applying that right along her cheekbones. And this is going to just help to warm her up a little bit. Bronzer helps to slim the face. I'm going to have to change the words in just a bit. And then you're able to use it right on the corners of the face, just to warm you up. So again, bronzer is meant to just be used sparingly, not on the entire face. Good. And then in addition to your bronzer, you can transition to your blush. So you can wear bronzer by itself, or you can just wear it with the blush. Go ahead and take your brush and just apply that blush to the apples of the cheek. And we're using Raisin by MAC just because it gives her a nice sort of warm color without being too heavy. And you can always use your powder brush just to soften any harsh lines. All right? And this complete your very natural, inner beauty look. You always want to top it off with a nice lip. And so we're going to be using a lip liner in Chestnut, just to sort of give her lips a little bit of color. And we're filling it in just a little bit. And have you kind of press your lips together for me. Perfect. And then we're adding a gloss, just a clear gloss on top. And this gloss is by Mika K Cosmetics. Alright, you can go ahead and press your lips together. So that completes the look for today. It's very, very natural, it's beautiful, and I mean really when you're wearing a look like this, you want that inner beauty to truly shine out. So ladies, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and I can't wait to see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.